back. We are back. Hello. How is everyone tonight?
Hello.
Live and
Hello.
here.
Folks.
I heard Josh hates himself. He said something about playing League of Legends again.
different stream.
Ah, indeed. Well, I don't know what to say about that. Anyhow, welcome back to, what is it? This must be our last session for the year, isn't it? It
Well,
sounds
yeah.
dramatic because, it's not even 2 weeks left of the year, so there you go.
Say, if we were ludicrous enough to play on the 2nd, that's still the next game is the 2nd.
Yeah, I'm not sure we are. We haven't even discussed it, to be honest. So, yeah, don't necessarily count on it, dear audience. We might be dredging ourselves up from all sorts of celebrations and debauchery or just being tired because it's been a long year. How about that? I don't know.
Yeah, I got 2 small kids. There will be no debauchery.
Exactly.
Well, it'll be very, very carefully measured debauchery.
I won't have the energy for debauchery.
That is a factor in that situation in life, and I will subscribe. My kids aren't as small, but it's still not as when I was 25. How about that?
Yeah, I still got one that's only like 2, so.
let me restore my liquor cabinet and maybe things calm down a bit, and I'll mix you up some debauchery, low energy.
That's wonderful. Anyhow, how about we start introducing everyone? As per usual, Josh first.
Hey folks, I'm Josh Point. I play Brainard, the half-elf sorcerer, and quite excited for this evening session.
Hey guys, I am Jessica LaPointe, and I play Frida, the bloody Wolfkin demon slayer fighter. It's quite the title, and I earn it.
Woe betides any demon who comes close.
I'm Chris. I play Soren, the woodsman, who last session apparently discovered I have a soft spot for kids who want to kill things with a bow.
Apparently, yes, you did. You get a fan, young dwarven fan, but that's okay.
And I'm Michael B. Berthium, playing Celestial Passage, the half-elf druid, who is not as surprised to hear that about Soren as Soren is to hear that about Soren.
Indeed, and at a dramatically appropriate moment, we will have a
Dramatically
guest.
appropriate guest.
A dramatically appropriate guest, yes, indeed. The players already know who, I believe, but you will find out soon enough, dear audience. Shouldn't be too hard to guess, given plans that have been made by adventurers before, but, we'll get there. Also, if you want an amazing overlay like the one we have, you should look to Hellhag Productions, because she does those, and she's awesome at it. This show is rated R. Quentin Tarantino made fantasy western is what we usually say, so expect bloodletting, not so much good, mostly gray, and darker shades of it as well, frequently. Synopsis.
Well, the last synopsis is pretty straightforward. The weather was absolutely horrible as we were trying to make our way back up towards the Orc Village and then the Eye of the Rose, so we wound up camping almost an entire day and a half, I think, maybe almost 2 days.
It
Along
was
the
so shitty.
Yep.
Yeah.
The weather was the adventure last time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like
Which,
during New Brunswick.
basically. The spring thaw all over again. Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Eventually, we managed to make our way up here to Red Dale, where we currently are. On the way in, we ran across a caravan of supplies bound for another orcish semi-friend of ours. Helped them get their wagon out of the rut, gave them a little direction for how they could find themselves to their destination. got here, and well, it's kind of a shithole town, but hey, it's an allied shithole town, right?
Exactly. Or at least they don't hate your guts. They
That's allied in that's allied in this game.
That's allied in this game. And indeed, that they remembered you also from the feast that you offered them last time. Because who could not remember feasting on Griffin? You know, that's something special.
Yeah.
So that is where we are. And also during the night, someone tried to rob you. And
Rob me specifically, but
yeah.
a little prescience in my case, which is appropriate because I do have the Path of Sight as one of my magics. That I jammed my chair under the door so they couldn't get in.
Indeed. And yeah, that was, I mean, you dispatched with that person. Well, I'm not going to say dispatched. He wasn't killed, but you dealt with the situation promptly. And apparently, an ogre has invited Frida to a duel in the ring. It's apparently the Red Dale's equivalent to the World Wrestling Federation, or MMA, perhaps more appropriately described, for noon today. So that's going to be the event.
You meet me, squared circle.
Exactly.
Noon.
Yep, that's pretty much it. So yes, indeed, there we are in this fishing village, if you will, this outlaw sort of holdout, where it is now morning again, and the weather has cleared up some from last week, or from yesterday. It is in fact no longer torrential rains. It is clear skies. Everything is glistening with dewdrops. Everything is muddy because the water is still deeply logged in the soil. But people are out and about and making splashy sounds with their boots walking over the soggy ground. And I'm gonna say that you probably didn't get proper sleep because of this thief here. So if you want to take a rest during the first quarter day just to get your attributes back up and so on. Some of you took some damage, I recall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also,
I will definitely sleep away in the morning. Probably wake up briefly just because of normal routine, and just send down like around noon. Send up food. Thanks. Back to sleep.
Maybe an hour before noon. I don't want to be late.
Are you ordering up the food?
Yeah. I'll order for the whole group, just so that way Frida can get a good meal in before facing that ogre.
I mean, I don't know how good their food is, but a meal.
You've worked with the cook before, so it can't be that bad.
It's not your making, but it is something.
They picked up a few tips when you fried Griffin with them in the kitchen.
Probably, yes.
No, you use this spice on poultry.
But is it poultry though?
Part poultry?
Longbird.
It's at some point in that it goes from white meat to red meat, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, that's why you just use Montreal spice.
So I guess it's pink meat. I don't know.
Oh, that's just a cop-out, man.
Hey, it's not black meat. That's all that matters.
And then, of course, you come to the question of what kind of marinade goes to. Anyway. So, yes. You are not disturbed this morning, which is probably nice, I would think. Except maybe Soren being badgered by a young dwarf who has now acquired an actual short bow.
Oh, good. So much better than a random weapon like a blaster.
A noble weapon from a nobler time.
The advantage of the bow is that it's faster to reload. It doesn't hit quite as hard, but it's faster to reload.
Listens to your every word with eyes ablaze with fandom.
How come your friends are your fans are doting and mine just want to beat me up?
Because I don't have a reputation for killing the crap out of things. Keep that on the
is
down
fair.
low.
Soren doesn't go around going, I beat up demons. I fought the Orc Emperor.
It's gotten us out of more trouble than it's gotten us into
I
most
want
of the time.
to wrestle the walking armor.
That was fun, though. I only talk about things that are fun.
Yeah. So morning. You have
See, maybe that's the real reason I'm known as a bard.
Had your drink, rested up. Clock is wearing on towards actual noon. There's a lot of people going down to the arena. The arena being, I'll show you that it's gonna be this building here.
Besides, my people's stories are very different than your people's stories.
My people's stories take a week.
This is true. If my people's story don't end in bloodshed, it was a boring story.
Yeah, I'm usually trying to avoid that, although I'm not adverse to doing it if I have to. So it tends not to be a highlight of my stories. You know, and then I smack down the demon just before Frida killed it. And then the Rust Prince went to strike down our ally, and I said, no magic for you, sir. And then the orc cut him in twain.
See, those are the stories you need to lead with.
Aren't you going to be late?
No, I'm on my way down there.
Okay.
Is this like the sort of thing that people bet on, or are
Yes.
they just watching for the fun?
Nope, there will be betting. In fact, there is a goblin going around picking up bets from people.
Rainer,
always a
I'm
goblin.
giving you this. If I die, don't let anybody else have it.
It's
not like
kind of
that.
hard to tell, you know, to estimate the odds here. They
Mistake.
go back and forth a lot.
Mistake.
You will give her back to me when I live.
Hmm.
Assuming I live.
I mean, Frida has a reputation, right? That Bok certainly does not. But on the other hand, Bok is really big and bulky and known around here for hitting people really hard. So, who knows?
The odds
it
are pretty
seems like-
even.
Yeah, it seems like it's anyone's game, really.
So yeah, Brainer definitely will go ahead and hold on to Malingar, almost giggling while he's got that in rust light.
It's your blade.
Now you two stopped fighting.
Is
Be
this...
nice to her.
I sincerely won't.
What are the odds?
Let's see now. People are betting a surprisingly high amount on Frida, actually. Or maybe it's not surprising, given her reputation.
Don't bet on me.
Yeah, there's like what would be the odds? 1 to 2 on Frida, 1 to 3 on him, something like that. It's hard to tell, really. It's the speculation is rampant. You can hear people sitting, you know, some people are sitting by a table and kind of watching her and looking at her. Yeah, but she's limping, you know, Buck is not limping. And some of those stories are bound to be exaggerated.
I'm going to bet on each of them,
Just in case.
just in case. I'm going to hedge my bets. I'm going to bet 6 silver on each of them.
I suppose that means that you're all going over to the arena then.
Yeah. Someone's got to be there to do emergency triage when it goes sideways.
Indeed. It is festive. There's a lot of people here. Everybody wants to see Frida fight. So anyone who can close up shop for the day has done so. Throngs are coming in. The Goblin is doing very brisk business selling tickets and seats. and earning more than a copper today, clearly.
Do I get like a coach or something in my corner, or I don't know how this works.
Your team, perhaps?
Probably should send the medic with.
That's what I was asking.
So
Between rounds.
do you
I'll
wanna be in-
bring a bucket and a cloth and some water.
Yeah. Like, Frida is here, but Bok is also there, because...
Good old Bok.
Yeah, big and bulky.
Fine. I'm sure this won't go horribly at all.
It'll be fine.
Absolutely. I'm not worried.
I'm totally leaving my character sheet on the talent page.
Right, so it is time, and of course the goblin goes, Everyone, simmer down, it is time, what we've all been waiting for! Bok, our local hero, all champion of the ring, has defeated more people than I have hands on my fingers! And in the other side...
Waiting to see if he's missing finger.
Yeah, he's missing.
I'm worried that he's mutated because he has hands on his fingers.
That I have hands on my fingers. Yeah, I may be a bit inebriated. Who knows? And on the other side, we have Frida, the bloody demon slayer, hero of many places, slayer of griffins too. Yes, that she is.
We really do need a bard, don't we?
Maybe this
Depends
is
if
in
you ask
fact
the Rust brothers or not.
a goblin minstrel. The terms of the fight, by the way, is basically fisticuffs. They're not expecting anyone to go in with swords and stuff. There might have been a casualty or two in the ring in the past, but
The only reason
generally
Brainerd is
speaking,
holding Malingar right now.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Bok will stand there. He's mighty Bok, I can do this. I don't know. How are you introducing yourself to the audience?
So I will come up, and
And we enter
I
to
will
an
simply,
elaborate Werewolves of London entry theme and performance with dance.
I will simply roar and use my might to roll an intimidation.
That's awesome. Also,
Horrible.
didn't work
Push.
this time.
It worked, and I'll use that willpower later.
Yeah, except you're also down a strength for down a might for your strength for your combat.
Yeah.
That's fine. This is fine.
Here's the thing. When you intimidate, if I recall correctly, they will have to either
Attack.
Yeah, exactly. So it might not be the best choice, if I remember correctly here. Intimidate.
It's fine.
Attack or do what I want.
Exactly.
Which is submit.
Threatening is the one, right? So,
Yeah.
threaten someone. If you succeed, your opponent cannot demand anything in return. He might still choose to attack you. So he won't get any negatives on his attack rolls against you. So this is not really the place. You can roar anyway, but you don't have to do a
Okay,
threatening
well, I'll
roll,
just
you know.
roar then and ignore
Yeah.
the threatening.
Yeah, so keep your strength, if you will.
Okay. Not worth it.
Not worth it. Yeah, he's gonna be right back, of course. And I suppose we'll pull an initiative. This would have been great with card combat, but we don't have. I don't know how to make it work in Foundry anymore.
Might be related to them trying to do the card interplay again.
Possibly. I'm gonna investigate it during the break.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm gonna pull one for. Also, we need. A little rumble there. Oh, you are first, in fact. That is
Excellent.
helpful, probably.
Probably.
So, begin. Frida, what will you do?
Well, I'm going to, let me see, read what my charge does. I'm
allows you
going
to-
to charge
You can move in and hit at the same time, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna charge and attack with might, I assume, or melee.
Melee, actually, yeah.
Oh, I'm not used to rolling just straight up melee.
Let's see now. Not sure if you should be able to parry incoming fisticuffs, right? Anyone
I
remember?
assume I can like put my arm up to block.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking. I'm gonna roll his melee anyway.
Well, would that, if that's the case, would Path of the Shield be viable here?
That's a good question. I believe it would be. Don't think it says anything on Path of the Shield that it would not apply to fisticuffs. Oh, regardless of whether you do it with a shield or a weapon. Okay, so can you not parry? Ah, dear. Now I need to check this.
Would it be a parry or would it be like a dodge kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the question, right?
What weapons are listed as unarmed is listed as melee weapons on the chart.
Yeah. It's listed as but then it means that you should be able to. Oh, but it's. I think the rules for parry is that you're parrying with a weapon, right? Or can you?
Yeah, parry normally specifically refers to swordsmanship.
Yeah. Okay, it's blunt. I'm gonna say that you can do a parry with unarmed, but it's gonna be -2 because it's not a parrying weapon, if you will. Or you can dodge, which is, I believe, also -2 because it's not, because you're not lying down, right? So I'm gonna do the -2 thing for him.
Okay, well, a parry
And he
allows
fails.
me to do more.
Yeah. So basically, you hit him on somewhere on his big bulk body mass. Of course, he is strong, right? So he is not necessarily going to go down right away. And then
No, I
he will try
expect to have
to
to
hit
take a couple
you
hits.
right back.
Okay.
And misses. Do I push that? If I do, I will not. That means we're back to you again, I suppose.
Okay. I will melee attack again.
Ooh, that's a good hit. Wow, look at that. You come in from the side this time, trying to catch him where it's kind of sensitive along the ribs. But he blocks that firmly with an elbow, and then he's gonna lean in and try to punch you on the nose. And you dance out of the way, apparently. This is not going well for him. It's your turn again.
It's gonna yell out really loudly. Next time, eat his hand.
Apparently that was encouraging.
Oh my
Thank you,
god!
Soren.
That's brutal.
Apparently Frida takes a snap at him.
Yeah, that's 2 points of damage. Oof! That hit him in, I'm gonna say in the stomach, in tender parts of the stomach. He loses his breath for a moment.
I got a good rib shot.
But he will try to get back at you. Ugh. And that's a good hit, unless...
Okay, so is it a
Swing at
move
you.
roll to parry?
No, melee is parrying, but since you don't have a
Okay.
parrying weapon, it's -2. Unless you want to dodge,
-2.
which is a move roll with a -2.
Okay. So I will just take the skill away?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That means that you're hit. Oof. You're seeing stars. That's 2 points of damage to you. Ugh. And it's back to you.
Okay. I hit again.
Nothing this
Nope.
time.
I'm gonna... Can I push that?
You can.
not helpful.
Alas. Ugh, but it's very even right now because you're both kind of hurt, and that was a very good roll for him.
It's...
I think he knees you. He brings up the knee.
And he gets me.
And he gets
That's
you.
a
Frida
conscious
goes
Frida.
down, everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh. And we do have to roll a critical injury for that, folks.
What
Yeah.
a shame. I'll look down at Roy and I'll say, this is why you always hedge your bets.
This is true.
Because if she had won, I would have broken even, which is okay. But because she lost, I actually made some coin.
Oh, I have to roll it?
I don't want to be responsible for her death. I mean,
That's fine. Where do I... That's on the table, isn't it?
yeah, critical injuries.
Blunt.
Blunt wounds.
Yes, blunt attack indeed.
Roll. Let's see if Frida actually survives this.
She does. Broken ribs, very appropriate.
That last knee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, it's a
Ooh.
good thing I was running in to put her grandmother's necklace around her as we carry her out.
Fine. This is fine. So Frida's like holding her ribs as she limps away. She
Yep.
kind of like shakes his hand, leaning over. Good fight, buddy.
Yeah. No, she's laying there, and everybody goes wild. Coins are exchanged. People
In
are.
Frida's defense, she is more of a swordsman.
Yes, indeed.
I will go and collect my 18 silver
Indeed, you will.
and say thank you very much. Oh, that was a shame what happened to her. Thank you for the coin.
Oh dear. No, that's a healing roll.
Yeah, that's just the healing check.
I was like, wait.
But I
is
said
this
it's the
magic mishap?
freebie.
It is a free one. Yes.
Plus, like I said, I'm putting the necklace around her neck, and we're gonna get her back to the inn
Yep.
so she can
yep.
heal up that way.
This is fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine.
I'm still alive and I'm not missing a limb. Everything is fine.
I could believe him being capable of punching a limb off you.
I
he
could
is
too.
big and burly. Now he's gonna go up after the fight. Frida, that was the best fight I've had in a while. You're
That was a good one.
you. Yeah, he's sore. It's gonna take him a day to recover from this for sure.
Yeah, it was actually, if I'm not quite mistaken, it was pretty close, wasn't it?
You had him about halfway down. Yeah,
Yeah. And he's got more health than I do.
he does. Yeah, he had 7 strength.
Yeah, so.
So
Assuming they haven't jacked up the prices like they do in Olympic Village, I'm gonna like get a flagon of ale for myself and for Celestial and for Brainerd and for Frida. Celebratory ale with my
celebratory
ladies.
ale. That's
Yay!
great. Ooh, everybody's happy and go wild. Yeah, it's been a good day so far, hasn't it? I mean, aside from Frida actually getting her ribs kicked in, but you know, aside from that little detail.
That was a good fight. I can appreciate a good, clean fight.
I think
So the next time we do this, you need to like downplay the reputation so the odds on you change.
Mm.
Because everybody here heard of you and the odds on you were shit.
I think the odds will be better next time now that he's actually beaten me.
Maybe.
Remind me, did you use the sleepy? That was Celestial using the sleepy necklace, or was it?
Yeah, that's why I was slipping onto Frida.
Right. So I guess Frida will be using it next, because
Yes.
you-
Frida's
you're
gonna
kind of-
wear it and go take a nap.
Meditate.
You're not going to head out to the Eye of the Rose yet, then?
Oh, I suppose I can wear it and walk technically, can't I?
Put you on your horse.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, on the horse, exactly. That could work. Because we are on the noon of. Oh, and I have the wrong weather here, as you can see, right? We are Not raining anymore. I think everyone is pleased with that.
Oh, thank God.
Before we leave Red Dale, did we pick up food and water?
I'm not so sure you did. Extra
Okay.
food and water? No, you haven't.
Okay. I will go to a general store and pick up some food because currently running out. I have no food on my carriage.
Aha.
Yeah,
That
we
will
should
cost you
we
some,
should
yes.
restock while we're here.
Sorry to make a shop, but
It's alright. I will talk to the kitchen at the inn, actually, even, and see if they can fill us up.
That's a lot of food though, so you'll have to pay something in between.
Yeah.
But they're not taking inhumane prices. They like you. You are popular here. So, and everybody's talking about the fight. It seems like every time you come here, you do something to. So they're gonna just charge you 5 copper per die roll for
Okay.
which is half the price.
So I hand them a silver to put me back up to 12 because I was down to 8.
Mm-hmm.
I assume it's easy enough to refill our water here as well.
Oh yeah. There's a well.
I also top up for 2 silver.
Very good. Yeah, water is for free in a village typically because there is a well and you can just fill your water bottles and skins and so on. Easy enough. So with all that business done, I'm going to say it's about 1 p.m.-ish in the afternoon when you head out. But you have horses, don't you? And that means that you can traverse 3 hexes in a quarter day in open terrain, which would actually allow you to get pretty much to the Eye of the Rose before this day is over.
Since we have horses and everything, I'm also going to pick up a tent and bear trap.
Aha. A tent may be slightly more expensive. Large or small?
Just a small one.
That's 2 silver. That does help with making camp.
Yep. And we've traveled to the Eye of the Rose from here before, so I don't actually need to lead the way.
That's correct.
So when we get to the Eye of the Rose there, guys, what is the plan? We're just going to hand over these rubies that we found?
No.
No, we were going to talk to Soria to see what's been discovered in our absence about the crown and the other rubies.
Yeah.
Give her an update.
How many rubies were there altogether? 6?
I think so. 6 plus the crown.
Was that a question for me?
I'm asking the
Just
group. I
trying to
don't
do
know
the
who
count.
kept track.
So we currently have Arindia, Viridia, and then there is the one that I think I currently also have. No, mine's not.
No.
No.
I've got Algared.
All good. So I think we've got at least 3 or 4 at this point.
And
We've
Soria
got
has
3 and
Aridne.
Soria has 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there was 6 plus the crown itself.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we've collected
6 soul gems altogether. Gamelda, Need, Nebulos, Viridia, Algared, and Aridne.
Excellent.
And
Stalgris.
Viridia's in the sword. Yeah, and the Stanagast crown.
Right. So, I mean, we've been gone long enough. If we found 3, surely they found the other 2.
At least another 1.
Yeah, I would hope. I hope they're not just lollygagging us.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe they got a lead on the crown too. Who knows?
When we fight the giant suit of armor, you think the ogre will help us?
No.
If I ask.
Probably not, considering that the giant suit of armor, if we remember correctly, will only be destroyed with magnets. Or
Magnetic
electricity.
iron. Magnetic iron or electricity. Yeah.
That doesn't
I mean-
mean he can't help us in the fight.
It'd
You
be
know.
the same as you trying to hit a mountain
How
and
are
expecting
you?
results.
How are you going to pitch this to him though? Like pretend you just beat me in a fight fair and square. What are you going to say?
Well, if I was you, I would tell you it would keep all the humans away from you. But, you know, him, I tell him there's another good fight on the way. You know, saving the world, being a hero, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that would appeal to his sense of bravery and notoriety.
He didn't strike me as the hero sort. He struck me
No.
as
Notoriety,
the,
though.
He struck me as the glory sort.
Yeah, even then. At a certain point, it's going to come up to the fact that he can't actually injure this thing in any way, shape, or form.
Back to my point.
As you're discussing all this, you will hear an "Oi!" And
I hate when people oi at me.
that happens every once in a while, doesn't it? You will recognize a different ogre than the one Frida just fought against, namely Olka.
Olga!
Remember Willa's adventure group?
Yes.
Here they are. Just coming up from the pier, in fact. They've just left a boat. Willa seems pleased, and there is one more person with him. You can't really see, seems like a woman. You can't really see her face because she has a hood covering.
Traveling with an elf.
Gray cloth, woolen, you would think. But they will come up. Oh, well, I'm very happy, says Willa, to find you all here. How have you fared since we last met? We made as much speed as we could.
I just lost the fight, but it was a good fight, so I'm good.
You were like, still.
Have we seen you between some people lost foot parts and some people lost fingers?
No.
I think it was after the feet, but before the fingers.
No, after the fingers, but yeah, because the fingers were in Weatherstone, right? And you met them after Weatherstone.
So yeah, it's been a thing.
Very well. I have brought someone you would want to meet, she says.
No, your employer?
Well, that's super vague.
Yes, that would be. She looks at Celestia. That would be the person. Yes.
Yeah.
The person you're supposed to meet in Redvale.
Why can't people ever just,
Mystery and intrigue.
Because people are shitty.
If we were just all a bunch of werewolves, we'd be pissing in a corner, okay, Frida?
I do not pee in the corner, thank you. I'm a little more
do?
civilized than that.
Yeah. Frida puts up a screen before peeing in the corner.
To be fair, I pee in the corner, but that's because I don't like houses.
Is there a place we could have a conversation? I do not want to take too much of your time, but since you were willing to speak to my employer, and she traveled all this way.
Yeah, we can talk, just not in that corner over there.
Right. Are you going to a tavern or just to an actual corner to talk? Taverns are a bit public. This is true.
The tavern is fine. We can find like a dark, secluded, shady corner of the tavern to conduct their nefarious business, like proper adventurers.
Like proper adventure, exactly. That's
Do
what
we still have
want.
rooms in the tavern?
No, because you were only booked.
Oh, we checked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. I got checked out. Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah,
Details.
by a robber.
plus the tavern
I
has
didn't get a good
ale,
look, though.
and ale makes everything better.
Ale makes
This
everything
is true.
better.
Ale does make everything better, and I can.
Ale, it's for what ails you.
I need to sit down.
It's quite the gathering then, because between all of you here, it's about almost 10 people. But you will get as much seclusion as your
10 people
hostess-
can get in
Yeah,
a bar?
exactly. As 10 people can get. And the woman in question, would be the employer.
The librarian.
And for some reason, my token is not updated properly. That's really annoying. I'll fix that really quickly. Because I have fixed it since before.
In a different
Okay.
kind of adventure, and make a comment like, if it's Soria, I'm punching her in the face.
Every time you say the librarian, it makes me want to watch The Mummy.
Now watch the librarians. It's even better.
Yeah. I don't know if it's better, but it's as good at least.
It's
Is
same
it?
type. It leans more into the campiness.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, neat.
Where can I find it? Is a better question, I think.
You can find it on. I think it originally aired on TNT.
Yeah,
There we
but
go.
Space had the Canadian contract for it originally.
Yeah,
Okay.
it might
Crave.
be on Crave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I shall take a
So-
look.
She is probably a bit older than she looks. Some wrinkles in the corner of her eyes and mouth that might not be very easy to see if you're looking far, far away. But she takes a seat. She has a bit of an excited look on her face. My name is Himmeltrude. I have come a long way to speak with you, as Willa says. Insight check, anyone?
Can't be lied to, but okay, yeah. No, I'm not
Say
at
not
level
me.
3 yet.
You're not level 3 yet, yeah? Are you?
No, I could buy level 3 anytime at any point, but I don't have it yet.
That was like the worst manipulation roll. Like,
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the wrong one. It's not. That's the wrong character, so it doesn't count. Haha. Still not a very good roll.
Second. All these dice get in the way.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently,
yeah.
it's hard to read this woman.
No,
Okay.
because I'm pushed. Because I'll push to, no matter what that means for my head. There we go.
Yeah, that's better. There we go. I'll send you a short note on that.
I mean, technically, I could have also added a D8.
Exactly. At any rate, I have come a long way. How do I put this?
Clearly and bluntly.
Clearly and bluntly.
Please.
Very well. I am a sister of Heme.
God damn.
Oh, it doesn't necessarily mean she's evil.
Yeah, it does.
We just have a bad track record. Anyways, continue.
Leaning towards.
I have come here because I'm prepared to offer a great sum to save this entire realm from great trouble, she says.
Okay, well, that's something we've already kind of been working towards. To go
All
on.
ears.
It appears that the leaders of my order are not entirely truthful about some things.
No, really?
Oh, what? Religious freaks lying and shit?
Specifically those ones.
Well, still, I need an ale to handle this revelation.
Well, then, good thing you have a
You
nail.
make light of it, but do not make light of this.
If it makes you feel any better, we've also encountered evil Raven sisters, so it kind of happens on all sides.
Demon possessed, weren't they?
Mm.
The prophet. The prophet claims to protect the lands from demons, but has bound a very, very, very powerful demon to this realm.
I am
Contract.
sadly not surprised.
By
You know which
contract.
one specifically?
Yes. One of the generals leading their forces. This being is known as Crasilla.
Oh, I know that name.
We know that one.
Did we take that one on yet?
Crasilla is bound to Vond. as far as I know. Cannot move the lands. But there is a way we can banish this infernal being from the realm. I am too scared to do it myself.
Okay, well, tell us. We're pretty good with that shit.
The prophet has the contract binding the demon on their person.
Oh,
Good luck, Brainer. Good luck.
Picks up a bag of gold. This is just a down payment, shall we say. If and when you can manage to do this deed, I will give you more.
So you want us to kill him or destroy the contract?
Destroy the contract, free the lands of this scourge.
And kill him.
If you can get this, she's kind of laughing hysterically. You haven't seen the prophet, have you?
Probably why it's named the Prophet.
My
You can see
guess
it
is
coming.
he's got like multiple limbs and several eyes and
Oh yes, oh yes.
Gone all
Ever
rust,
watchful.
brother infected.
Ever watchful.
so on a scale of, you know, your average ogre to the thing we did in the mines, what is this?
I don't know what thing you did in the mine, so it's
Sorry,
hard
I
to
was
tell.
The light demon?
She's looking at her party when she's saying this.
You mean the light demon?
Was it a light demon? I don't know what they are.
Yeah, the one that was bound to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a light demon.
Okay.
Wait. I just so I'm clear. You're gonna give us this gold here now, and then when we eventually get around to doing the thing, you're gonna give us more.
Yes. She's looking slightly desperate.
Where can we find this Prophet?
In Vond, I think.
Again,
There is-
she whispers to her party, don't we have to go there to do the thing anyway?
Yeah.
The prophet will be at the feasts this fall at Hagler's house. I know this.
Hmm.
That's a long ways off.
It is.
Well,
So-
I mean, if we can destroy that before that, we'll let you know.
No. It's at least we do know one destination where we can find the prophet, and even if it is sometime in the future.
Hmm.
And we
Odds
just have
up.
to take care of the contract.
I expect that we'll probably be able to resolve something before that point anyway.
Understand. It is said this is an ancient demon. At the end of the older wars, this demon prince could not get back to their native world. So, apparently, Zitra made a deal with it. Gave it sanctuary in Vond. To guard the Shadow Pass against
course.
the Asleen. Crasilla destroyed the Asleen who came through here. Only very few came up to the plains because of Crasilla. I think many of the people who volunteer to work for our Orden are fed to the demon instead.
Not surprised. So again, just so we're clear, we get all this gold now, and then eventually at some point when we do the thing, we get more.
Yes.
But it's
Yes,
not
we
like
do.
take this gold, go kill him right away. It's on our schedule.
I cannot control your schedule.
That's such a nice change.
Yeah, I'm good with this, guys.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
Very well.
I say this definitely falls into something we would likely look to doing anyway.
I thank you. And I pray that Heem's blessing go with you.
Oh no, don't.
And may Flo and Clay keep you.
She looks a bit perturbed, but not entirely surprised, given the company. Anyway, I will not keep
I'll
you any
take it.
longer.
Of course you'll take it.
I believe Willa and you have discussed a place to leave messages to each other, and I will not interfere in that. As you understand, I will not tarry long in this part of the world.
Yeah. Well, on our way out, I can show Willa one location.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Then, good luck to you. And
I'm already
she
counting the
leaves.
coins.
Yeah, it is in fact 12 gold coins.
Ooh. Not bad
See-
to pay in advance.
Well, the best part about this is we take the money from the church, and then we don't actually have to do anything.
If we happen to complete the task along our way, so much the better.
Which it sounds like it's something we're going to likely have to do anyway.
Yeah, aren't we going that way?
Yeah, it's soon.
Just let me revel in the fact that I took money from the church for not having to do anything.
No, absolutely.
Okay. Enjoy.
And then you get paid for just doing what you would have done anyway.
I feel like part of me feels like I should spend this church money on something sinful.
Well, considering the church it came from.
Well, I honestly have no idea what they believe. I don't actually care.
Well, you know, helping us along is sinful in the eyes of most of that church.
So now you have access
Talking
to
to
another
me is sinful in the eyes of
I'm not
most of
talking
that
to you.
church.
La 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 la.
legend.
There, maybe that's why I get along with you people. My soul is doomed by my company, apparently.
Yeah, totally.
It's because we're not entirely human.
Maybe the Asling wouldn't be so asshole if Priscilla wasn't there.
But that's like 3 gold each. That's like, wow.
Yeah.
It is good money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming we're just divvying that up here, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll add it to my sheet. As Brainer sticks his hand out.
That was a pretty fruitful morning, wasn't it?
Well, maybe when we're at the Eye of the Rose, maybe they would know something about this demon, because it seems to me we encountered a demon at one point that I was like, what the fuck? My arrows don't do anything to it, and I'd really hate for us to run into that again.
That was the blood mist, though, wasn't it? The one that was
Yeah,
masquerading as
yeah.
blood mist.
No, the one that lives as part of the mist. The one at the castle at
Yeah.
Weatherstone.
So
Maybe.
Or
my
Crangbone.
thought process with this demon, though, is if it's bound to a contract, all we have to do is take that contract from it, and then can't Brainard control it using that contract?
Anybody can control it with that contract, period.
Okay,
It
which
all
is better
depends
with
on-
demons in general.
Depends on the content of the contract, because the contract might preclude itself from being used that way under certain circumstances.
Or you could just probably destroy the contract and let the demon go back to where it came. Or it might decide to stick around, and then the celestial mean you might have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's sooner
So-
take advantage of having the contract, banishing it, and then getting rid of the contract.
Yes.
But regardless, I think doing some research into it in case it does have any particular weaknesses, just in case we do have to confront it.
I agree. I feel like this is something we should go, be able to talk to the Eye of the Rose and Soria about.
All
I
right.
feel like there would be some information on that in that realm.
Maybe. We'll see.
If either Celestial or Brennar wants to do a lore check on demons, you can do that.
Louder than I thought it was.
Or, hey, maybe they're like, we have no idea where the crown is, and the entire world's going to be destroyed anyway, in which case we don't need to worry about it.
That's a way to go.
That's definitely one way to take it. Oh, Brainar, push it.
Here we go. Let's break my brain.
You didn't. You
Huzzah.
also have no clue. All right. I suppose you're setting out for the eye now.
Yeah.
So we go. There will be some scouting checks, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
I will help scouting since I don't actually have to lead the way.
You can, for once. Look at that. It's a success, which is all you need. On this very nice and sunny afternoon. Moving through, in fact, the forests. And so, yeah, let's continue, I suppose. You get across the bridge easily enough, leaving Reddale behind once more. People are, some people are actually just standing by the gates as you leave. And you know, kind of, as you go out there, they go, oh, there goes Frida. You know, Buck won that fight. And mumbling a bit to each other about, you know, what to think about Frida and her reputation and Buck and so on. That's going to be the talk of the town, clearly. As far as you know.
Once we get well on the way and out of, you know, normal town earshot, it's like, not that this should surprise anyone, but she was putting on a good face, but she was actually quite scared.
Indeed.
In all honesty, like I said, he's twice my size, and I normally use a sword, not fisticuffs. So. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't talking about those jokers. That conversation's meaningless to us. You're not going to be here for the next 2 weeks to deal with all of the talk of the town.
I'll bring them some more griffin meat to shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, keep in mind that you did give basically as good as you got to someone that has twice as much mass as you do.
This is true.
I give Malingar back.
Thank you.
I'm fairly certain that your new ogre friend will also be, you know, talking it up from your point of view too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure there will be. I beat the demon slayer. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but if he hears some like the gate guards, I expect that he'll be like, "She hit hard."
Yeah.
Gladbach hit harder, but she hit hard.
Yeah. No, honestly, he seems like a good guy. I'd definitely like to have him on my side.
The good ogre.
Like a good ogre, Bach was over there.
Are we proceeding to the next text? Because this, aside from very, very high levels in the river, it's a calm day. A beautiful day, in fact. Seagulls, birds. Yeah, nature is coming to life. You're getting closer to summer.
So by the end of the afternoon, the necklace has healed up my ribs?
It will by the time that you arrive in Eye of the Rose, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, it will heal up all your critical injuries. So, the other one as well.
My other one was already healed.
Oh,
Yeah,
was
'cause-
it?
Yeah, because she wore it before we gave it to Soren.
Oh, right. So,
Sil-
we can just...
Silly question. Does that also fix mythomania? Or that's more mental?
Which one? The,
The one I got.
That's a backlash, not a critical injury.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get
Well,
a critical
it was a...
injury.
It's in my critical injuries sheet. Part of my
So
sheet.
then it counts as a critical injury, yes. I believe that you rolled like a mental critical injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Okay, because
backlash.
I remember that being a conversation last game, so...
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I think that counts as a critical injury, right? The
Okay,
other
well,
mishaps that happened, as long as it's not
Yeah,
critical. Yeah,
because
okay.
we
And
rolled the
that-
backlash. The backlash did enough damage to cause the critical injury,
Yeah.
is what it was.
Indeed.
Well, in that case, you can wear the necklace that in the evening while we're in the Eye of the Rose.
That's the game plan. I'd rather not start professingly lying once we get to the Eye of the Rose.
You still will.
Probably.
So, I suppose there will be another scouting check as you proceed into the actual forest.
I will continue to help.
Indeed.
Austin's into the forest
That
proper.
was
Oh my god.
terrible.
Yeah, that's better. Still painful, but better.
Indeed. Well, you need the willpower, right?
Oh, I'm already capped. I was capped out from the
You
making
were?
sure that I saw through her. Yeah.
Fair enough. North or south? Does it matter?
I'm a bigger fan of north because I remember going through the south was where the assassins jumped us.
It wasn't north also like a wedding or something we crashed?
Yeah, no, that was
even
by
further
Westport.
north.
That was
even
north of
okay.
Westport.
Yeah. So yes, you continue, and as you travel through this part, you will actually, because of your scouting roll, see them before they accost you. There are some orcs.
Let's say this part was the section we ran into the slave drivers escorting the prisoners back to the Eye of the Rose last time.
Indeed, and not too far from it, you will find along, because this is more of a dirt road. Actually, there's been so much traffic probably between the Eye and Reddale that leads through the forest, and some orcs are further along the path. You have seen them before they have seen you. They do carry the purple of the Urher, and seem to stand guarding the road or something, maybe?
They're the right tribe. They're supposedly guarding the road. I'll make sure the party's aware of them so that we're not going to get ambushed if they turn out to be liars.
So we're thinking Soria's at the eye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
We should be fine then.
So, yeah, they will in fact step out into the road and go, "Oh, who goes there?"
Adventures on business for Empress Soria.
For the Empress. How do we know you ain't lying?
I bring out the letters that I kept because, like I said, we sent them with the envelopes with
Yeah.
their seal. Yeah.
Well, it's all right. Well, go on then. We're none of them orcs either. Do you want to roll a reputation roll here, Brennar, I suppose? Because you have the highest?
To say, Frida fought the Emperor last time we were in the Eye of the Rose. It was a good skirmish.
Look at that. Oh, I've seen them before. They were up there. Frida there. Duel the Emperor himself. I know that. And that's, I think he's a sorcerer. They all shy away from Brennar immediately and go to their side of the road. Go along, go along.
I nod to them and pat my golden bow on my hip.
Yeah, that's also gonna be, less than popular, if you will.
But better than a sorcerer.
Probably, yeah. I don't know if there's that much difference to their minds.
Anyone can be a shaman.
Magic is magic as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So I suppose we are in fact arriving at the Eye of the Rose. It's been a while since we used this map, hasn't it?
Yes. I wonder if we're gonna sleep in the murder tower again.
There we go.
Murder tower, we're home.
Yeah, and like last time, there will of course be people manning the gates to the Eye of the Rose itself. Like before, the cluster of buildings below the fortress, orcs are still living there. Everything is very much like last time you were here. Not
Is there
much
still a
seems to
Droid
have changed.
encampment in the woods at the base of the hill?
Say again?
Is there still a Droid encampment in the park/forest?
Are you going to try and go there and have a look?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there isn't.
Yeah, I didn't think there is, but that's like you never know.
You never know. There is not, in fact. The sun is getting lower in the sky. Of course, it's evening now. And yes, Frida, you will be healed of your broken ribs and sleepy. So,
I hand the
And
necklace to
and
Brainer.
that's strength
Your
damage.
turn.
So yeah, you are riding up along the path, getting to the gate. And as you announce yourself, I'm fairly confident there will be someone running to announce you to the Empress herself. Who should be with us shortly.
After these messages, the
After
Empress will
these
be
messages,
right back.
exactly. Anyhow, up you go. People are lining up there when they hear about Frida returning. I want to challenge her next. A bunch of big burly warriors who wants to duel her. Yep, they're lining up, Frida. They're lining up.
A
Apparently
good time was had by some.
Listen,
Good
listen,
times,
boys. I
everything.
just finished fighting an ogre. Let me have a night's rest first.
An ogre, eh? Very well. There must be an ogre or two here as well. Including, as always, some traders of various kin, some humans, some dwarves. Maybe fewer dwarves, but some at least. And other such figures. It's a for being an orcish stronghold. It is very cosmopolitan, if you might say.
Kind of what you expect when the orcs move into an elfin ruin.
Indeed. I don't know, or when orcs are actually trying to trade with other people and
Yeah.
set up such relations. So, why don't we get a scouting roll from... Well, I guess Celestial is the one to do the scouting.
Oh, God. Well, the bright side is from on high, I can see many things.
You're a bit tired, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Nothing out of the ordinary seems to be the case. Everything's fine here.
I do appreciate the fact that we left here with some horses and we've come back with completely different horses
This is true, you did.
and
you
better
have.
horses.
There is a contingent of Aslines here. It is, in fact, the Aslines that you recognize from before. Uase and her group. Though Uase herself is not here. Maybe she did fall in that battle after all.
I'm more worried about in India and, what's his name?
Lame.
Galame. Yeah, you will in fact see them as well. They are here,
Okay.
sitting by a campfire, and like they have their own little tent and so on, and munching on something. But they will in fact recognize you and go up and
I'd
greet
hope
you.
so.
Yes. There you are. We were fearing the worst. We just wanted to kind of stay here and see if you were turning up or not. We are on our way soon enough, but up to Reddale and then on to the east.
At this point, I'm pretty certain whatever gods are watching over us really like injuring me, but can't seem to kill me.
That is
Well,
a good thing, I should think.
I'm full glad that you both made it here safely and are geared up and prepared for your next journey.
Indeed. Yes, well, we've been here quite a few days by now, so it's time to move on.
Well, the weather kept us trapped by the river, but
We agree the weather was terrible for traveling,
Mhm.
but
It was
and
fine.
we had the horses. A little easier to trudge on your own than with mounts.
indeed. Well, it was good to see you. It
Good to see you.
warms our heart to see you in one piece, as far as that can be.
Safety and success in your future.
And to you as well.
Soren will just kind of nod at them in acknowledgement as he like gets the horses.
Holy
tended
shit.
to.
Wow, that's like Soren offering to pay for a parade for them.
I'm wondering how the Asleans are reacting to Soren these days.
He hasn't really interacted with them deliberately.
Mm-hmm. I think there might be giving him a side eye. How
That's-
well known would his background be to them, do you think?
It really depends. I mean, it was mainly around a small town, but the Child of the Wind is a fairly big deal. It's just a question of whether they would put that together with them, because I mean that was like 20 some years ago.
Yeah, he might not have had that much reputation, so. And he doesn't dress like an Aslean these days, so.
No, not even remotely.
Yeah, so there's no reason for him to. I mean, he passes as an Islander as far as they're concerned, I would think.
Yeah, he has distanced himself from them significant ways.
Mm. So yeah, he's probably not gonna stick out to them. They have had other things to think about, let's just say, like Rust Brothers and the like.
Yeah, Soren will he'll get the horses tended to, and then he'll see if there's a spot where he can like set up a tent and everything, so we don't have to sleep in the murder tower.
The murder tower is there. Such names.
That's
Didn't we turn in fine last time? Turned in fine last time.
Yeah, other than that's the tower where the envoy was killed.
I
No.
mean, there's that.
I'm gonna sleep out here under the stars. You guys can sleep where you like.
As you are discussing all these things, there is a... You've seen him before. A human fellow who apparently lives here with the orcs. Draped in all sorts of knickknacks. Tall, dark, lanky. And very ingratiating, if you will. He's coming down towards you. Venerable guests of the Emperor and the Empress. I was told by a runner that you had arrived. What can I do anything for you? Maybe arrange accommodations. It is late in the day. I'm sure you must be hungry, or at least you need some place to sleep. Yes.
Food and a
Yes.
place to rest is always appreciated.
Yes.
Yes. Can I? What tidings do you bring? He seems a bit,
Dire
Eager.
ones. Very, very dire ones.
War in the
Oh.
south.
Oh, indeed.
I believe we should be discussing this with the Empress.
Of course. Who would I be to doubt that in any way? But as I was saying, she will attend to you as soon as she can, and meanwhile I'll be able to help you. Come along here, and he's going to lead you to your lodgings, and he keeps talking, obviously trying to draw out interesting things and tidings from you, and I'll have to push that. Oh, good God. Wow.
Well, that went bad.
Rainer, why don't you take off the
Wonderfully.
necklace and talk a while?
That was the worst
I haven't
ever.
been wearing it long enough.
Exactly, take off the necklace and talk a while.
Insight check on Celestial, probably, right? Because you're the one who is doing the talking in the group.
Let's see if they both work that way. They do both work that way.
Do you want to... I had one success, so...
And I
Yeah,
had
that
one
means that
success.
you resisted. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's trying his best to wheedle out information from you. And as you keep stalling and just give him illustrate how you deflect his questions, if you will.
I was like, and because he's obviously just trying to wheedle things in partway through the conversation, just get things like, Oh, it's been so long since we were at the Eye of the Rose. The weather has been so good and then so poor. It's been hard to predict. Can you believe that we had 3 days straight of rain not even that long ago? But before that, we had almost a solid 2 weeks of perfect weather. That's the type of weather that you want to be out of doors and journeying out there, my friend. You see more of the world that way and everything that's going on around you. Oh, that's the views from on high, the views in the dells and in the forest. Like that brief pause of, like all the things going on around you. Because we saw them from up top, we saw them from down here, but I'm not telling you what I saw.
And as he listens to this, eventually he just kind of blows a fuse. Yes, well, it's all well and good that you're out wandering the world, isn't it? And he just loses his temper completely and just marches off in a huff. Because he broke his empathy with that.
Finally, he was getting on my nerves.
I mean, I was going to shoot him, but
Well, you might still get the chance. I mean, he might try and sneak into into my room or try and get someone to kill me in the night.
maybe. But I'm going to be sleeping out here in the tent.
Yeah, but you can kill him on the way by.
I could kill him from here. That's true. Like from here through the arrow slit, into the neck, not a problem.
How about you? I'm probably going to get sleeping soon.
Mm-hmm.
When roleplay and real life work together.
Indeed.
Right?
All right. Well, let's go see if anybody here has any information on the other gems, the crown, the state of the world.
All of that horrible stuff.
I also need a shield.
Possible.
Oh, you
Sure
need a
that we can
shield.
find an orcish shield here.
Yeah, you should be able to
Oh,
buy
and
one.
I need to learn Berserker.
A shield?
Yeah. And I
Aren't
pick
you-
up my sword.
Aren't you like a magic person?
I taught
Yeah.
him how to use that sword.
Sorry,
there
you've
is
been
a
helping me
library
with the
available
bow.
too. Sorry about that. You said something?
So, Soren, you've been helping me with the bow too. I'm also a magic user.
Yes, but the bow keeps you at range and not up front.
My magic works. Some of my magic works best up front. Most of his magic works good far away.
You've seen what I can do crafting. You know that, right? I'm
Yeah.
actually pretty strong for my age.
Oh, that's true. You are
But
wired.
there's the library here. Maybe there's stuff we can learn from books.
Okay.
Oh, there. Maybe I should learn like some, book stuff.
Yeah.
There is indeed a library.
I
go to the
don't
library
think
then.
learning book stuff would hurt.
I just remember the last time that we were here, we had such restricted access to the library.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
might
I'm
be
feeling
easier
like
this
it-
time.
Yeah.
You will, of course, be accompanied. When you get to the library, there is always the presence of this fella, Master Anselm. He's standing there as so many other. In fact, he's finishing his supper. Piles of books, scraps of paper, remains of manuscripts. A lot of these papers and documents are just not in readable shape anymore, damaged by time and the ravages of wars, arguably. But he's been doing it the best he can to get things into order. And when you arrive, he will look up from his supper. Did you meet him last time? I don't remember if you met him last time. You didn't.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No,
But he
because we
will
were so
probably
restricted on our
recognize you.
access.
He'll looking up and, huh? You must be Brennar, the sorcerer, yes?
That I am.
That's Brenner the swordsman.
Oh, is he a
You
sword?
can be both.
Both?
And this is Soren the swordsman.
No, the
See that double
slingsman.
standard, buddy.
The slingsman.
Slingsman. There you go.
I'm actually really, really good with this sword, but I prefer to stay back where I don't get injured.
Oh, very well.
Where's your books
what-
on demons?
What? Demons? Demons? On demons.
I thought I was the
Specific-
blunt one.
Specifically Carcilla.
Well, I'm sure I should be able to find something here for you. He goes through the, notes. I would rather we worked on fixing the Astrolabe, but I've been wrecking my head over how to repair it, really, and it's been.
Oh,
But
Braynar, the sword sorcerer saint, can probably take a good look at it.
I know
Call
the
me a
craftsman.
saint.
We're just gonna keep giving you nicknames now, Brainer.
Like it. Yeah, I'm very good with a hammer and a maul and delicate details.
No, you're supposed to still lie.
But I don't know if I can fix that.
Well, that's too bad. That's too bad.
You can at least take a look at it. Worst thing that
I
could
can
happen. You
I
can't do
can
anything
roll
worse.
his insight. I can do that. Feel free to lie, Brennar.
See how many NPCs we can break.
Exactly.
Alright, that is my manipulation.
You broke Ragagala.
Yeah,
That was funny.
yeah, manipulation to make a believable lie.
Not enough.
Sorry, that's all I had.
He's like kind of his eyebrows go together again.
It's like, why would he lie about that? But he's lying about being able to possibly fix it. So, what a sack of crap.
Yeah, that brings a frown on his face, to be sure. You wanted demon lore. Well, I'm not so sure that we have a lot of that left. He's digging through some papers, picking out some parchments, finding even a clay tablet of sorts, looking it over. Dust.
If only visions of the past let me see these books when they were still intact.
Demon lore. Yes. You said Carcilla, you said? The Demon Prince?
Yeah, that's apparently the name.
Yep.
Fearsome beast. Devoured many Astlings in before the Blood Mist, as far as I know. May still be out there. I'm not sure. These are
We've heard
records.
rumblings, so.
Oh, you have you?
And since we have the bloody demon slayer here, that might be our next hunt.
Quite so, yes. Well, scrapes his chin a bit. Well, demons are a tricky lot, you see. And he's going over some notes. See, every time I've looked over that demonology, as it were, it seems to me that every single demon that has been jotted down on these papers has their own unique weakness and strength. It means that it's impossible to make a good catalog over them, if you will. In this story here, for instance, there is a tale about a demon that is invisible to anything but magic, but is easily destroyed by wooden arrows. Who would have
That's
guessed?
convenient.
That
But-
sounds familiar.
But
I
here's
think
the
the
story.
problem is most of the stories about demons were from the biased opinion of people who believed that anything that wasn't a human was a demon.
It's also, they're all bygone records, and some of them contradict. Generally
There's no,
speaking,
proper scientific catalog.
generally speaking, it seems like most of the demons would do better from, say, a biographical catalog, similar to how we catalog the lineages of the royals and the traits of them, as opposed to trying to, that's a human, that's a gutter elf, that's an orc.
Yes,
That
I
might
agree.
well be the case. Yes, here is a story, and he keeps talking like you didn't interrupt him. Here's a story about a thing that was not in any particular shape. It shapeshifted all the time. Tentacles, legs, heads, mouths, eyes, hard to be. But what really defeated it and destroyed it, finally, was the laughter of children.
Nope. Nope.
Did it occasionally take the form of a clown?
Nope. Rainer starts heading towards the doorway at this point.
He's noping out.
And here is another story, you see, of a demon. It took the shape of a great serpent with stag's horns and insect legs along the body.
Didn't we fight that one?
No,
That one.
no, that one.
No,
I think that would stick in our minds.
No, the first one sounded similar to the Blood Mist demon at Grindbone.
And
No,
when-
I'm thinking of the worm thing from the Stoneloom Mines.
The one
thing-
that Chris one-shotted.
No, that was
Demon
like
you
that.
one-shotted
No,
Chris,
that
like,
was
in the water.
That was a toad demon. The Stoneloom Mines. It was a demon tainted worm. It was a natural worm that was tainted and overwhelmed.
Right, the thing that took on the form of the other demon's mother.
No, because it was the demon's mother that was absorbed into it and absorbed all the other souls into it at the same too.
Yeah.
Well, at that point...
We should write a book.
Yes, a
Guys,
book.
we should write a book. We should write a
Bring-
catalog of demons.
Well, I
Brings
mean, you have more
together-
experience than most of these books.
brings together
Clearly.
a bunch of parchments to start cataloging your experiences. Yes, let's start cataloging your experiences. Anselma's seemingly completely forgotten about your question about Crasilla, but at that point you're interrupted by a Snaga orc, runner orc, who comes and bows
Oh, I
deeply.
think I know that Snaga.
Sirs, masters, lady, the Empress will see you now, and runs
We'll
ahead
come
of
back
you.
to that book idea.
Yeah, apologies for the interruption, Master Ansem. We'll return at our leisure after speaking with the Empress.
And so, they are taken across the yard and up towards the tower, where you have met the Empress in the past. And,
Be the cool guy backing up on the librarian, flipping him the two birds with the stone face.
indeed. And she will... Where will she exactly receive her guests this time, Empress?
We'll go informal. Probably wherever the previous meeting was, after they left the Grand Hall.
Indeed. So that secluded little room in one of the towers.
Murder Tower.
As always, she has a couple of handmaidens with her. The Snaga orc bows deeply. Empress, your majesty, and then leaves, as he should, and closes the door.
Oh, I see you have returned in most one piece, I see.
Mostly One Piece.
You could. And I hear you come bearing gifts.
Celestial turns, looks at Brainard, raising an eyebrow.
We don't have anything.
No, your quest has been completely unsuccessful.
I got this, and I pull a rustbite.
It's a beautiful sword, made from some interesting type of steel that you haven't seen before, but not something with an emerald in it.
I see. Is there a reason that you're lying to me?
He's not capable of telling the truth right now.
He's been like
Just
this for
put my
a
thumbs up.
couple of days.
We're working on it.
Interesting.
We've mostly run out of quick leads, which is part of what brought us back to check on if anything further had been heard on the crown or the other two gems.
Perhaps. Have you the two that to show me?
Well, we've got Algared and Viridia on myself on. It's like his Celestial has the scepter on his hip and
Unwraps the sword, the leather off the sword on her hip.
yeah, it rests
There's wearing
underneath
the
his golden
necklace.
bow symbol and his bow, but it's still there.
And have they begun talking to you?
Yes.
Viridia does
Loudly.
not shut up. Algared speaks on occasion, but he's quite stoic. And the sister in the necklace tends to doze.
Mm.
The sword
see.
is made out of a strange silvery type of metal. Again, something you've never seen before. But in the hilt, right in the crossguard, is wrapped inside leather, green stone, an emerald rather than a ruby. The scepter has 3 tongs hanging from the top, and right there, from where they come out, is in fact a ruby.
I see. Well, good. You have a couple different options ahead of you, but before we get to that and moving on to your next locations, I do want to make sure that that I properly thank you for your assistance in this matter. There have been many attempts to stop us, as I'm sure you're aware. So our enemies are beginning to learn of our activities, and they are reinforcing.
Yes, the Rest Prince himself has dogged our footsteps more than once.
He's taken a good chunk out of him for it too.
I have heard, and that is a large part of why I want to make sure that you are given an opportunity to continue to defend against the Rust Brothers, and also have a place that you can call home, shall we say. So I have had some paperwork drawn up. I look to one of my handmaidens and have them go get the paperwork.
Yep, they will go get the paperwork. There is a scroll available. Master Anselm himself has prepared it.
Well, if you didn't get distracted.
Sorry, we were talking demons. We're gonna write a book.
No, he constantly gets distracted by worrying about that Astrolabe.
I see. So you spent some time with the good master.
We might have a fairly important demon to slay, so research was prudent.
It's not important at all.
I agree.
You need to wear that necklace a little longer.
To reinforce the boundaries between realms, we might want to make sure at least one more demon prince is pushed back to where it belongs.
I see. I would be careful in what kind of advice you heed from the good master.
Quite true.
So once the scroll comes back, Soria will take it, verify the words on it, and then hand it over to you.
What does it say?
Better say, like, I owe you 10,000 gold.
It does not.
Sense magic.
It does, however, indicate that you are
I
now...
sense legal magic.
You are now the owners of and guardians of an outpost.
Oh dear.
Oh no, we have responsibilities.
We're gonna
boy.
need staff.
Rust Edge Outpost.
Oh, that sounds fun.
That's well named. Not foreboding at all.
This is excellent because I'm so good with people.
That's okay. All you have to do is bark orders.
You will find this castle along my borders and that of the Aesir orcs, and the Rust Brothers as well. It but it is firmly within the lands owned by the Uhur. In ancient times, as I understand, the elves stood guard there and used it as a stronghold. I will provide initial assistance for you and to get the place cleaned out and ready. But in the long run, you're going to want to find your own personnel, I'm sure.
Oh, certainly, but the early assistance will be quite key.
I bet you Bach would work for us.
Oh, I guarantee you Bach would work for you.
Sorry, he's an ogre that I had a wrestling match with back in the last town.
The two out in the courtyard, if they haven't left yet, would not want to come with us.
I see.
I'm sure.
He says the opposite of whatever he actually means.
I'm sure that I can get a message to them before they get too far if they have left.
The only friend that I've made, it would technically be kidnapping.
Well,
But if you give him another
congratulations,
summer
though.
too.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, Roy and his parents might come.
You are noble landowners now, and I hope you will do well.
Wait, so does that make me the Lady Bloody Demon Slayer now?
The Lady Frida, the Bloody Demon Slayer.
Oh, okay, that's how it works. I've never been a lady before.
It actually doesn't give you a title because it's hereditary. At the very least, depending on the size of the land, you might be a marquise.
A Marquis, nice.
Yeah.
Look
Depends on
at
the,
you! Look at you with all the noble knowledge, Mr. Sorin.
I know some shit, okay?
I feel like that might have been a little bit of Chris bleeding through.
No, Soren actually has
No.
a wits of 4.
Oh, wow.
And a background that he doesn't talk about.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. I appreciate your efforts so far. Now, on to the business at hand. You will want to be careful with those stones and realize that while you carry it and have control of it, it is also influencing you.
Yes, we've seen that a little bit.
And if the influence is not positive, you may have to take measures into your own hands. So please be careful and cautious the longer you partner with your elven ghosts, shall we say.
Frida has the inclination. I have been working on stealing my will since our last visit to the Eye of the Rose.
That might be helpful. I would like to be heading... When I behead people, I'd rather be in control of my own body.
I see. You are quite the demon slayer.
Quite a lot of synergy with Viridia.
Yeah, she really likes me. I'm
I
not
would
sure if that's a
suspect
good thing.
so. That would be my concern as well. So do be careful. To that point, should you wish to leave any of the items here to discuss with my clasp, and also to halt that sort of influence over yourselves, you will be welcome. But keep in mind, if you carry them with you, you do present an opportunity to be robbed or otherwise accosted as our enemy finds out more of what we are doing. So I leave that decision to you, but do recognize that if you lose any of these stones, I will send an army after you. You know, just as a safeguard.
Nothing personal, just safety of the realm and all that.
Rather important
That's
that
fair.
these stones do not fall into the hands of the Rust brothers. So
No,
I'm fairly certain if Malingar fell in the hands of a Rust brother, I would already be dead.
We've been quite careful so far, but with the extra option on the table, I'm sure we'll discuss it more than once.
I have heard that you took my advice upon leaving here last time, and you traveled to the cave, correct? And that is where you found the sword?
The mines, yes.
Good. And then you traveled further to the battlefield ruins, and I believe that is where you found a interesting army of deceased.
I think that's where we saw that.
No, that was further south.
An undead army that was risen where you acquired the scepter? Yes,
Oh,
no?
yes.
I
And
wouldn't call that
Weatherstone.
I wouldn't call that an army.
It was enough to be annoying.
It
Yeah.
was
Well,
a
and-
light cakewalk.
And there was definitely a sorceress, quite likely but not guaranteed to be in the service of Rust or Heem, that observed and interacted with what happened there.
Oh yes.
Yes, I've had visions of the sorceress of Heem. The undead that were left there, as I understand, you left them, correct? There are undead still at Weatherstone?
I believe so. I don't think they all dropped when we left.
It's entirely
No, they were
possible that
still
they,
No,
like-
most of them returned to slumber after, but they're still there.
or maybe they broke free and are wandering the countryside.
We need to consider that if they are not put to their final rest, that they could be utilized by our enemy for supplementals to his own army, and we are already outnumbered. So something to consider there, and maybe discuss with your scepter.
Indeed. We're also looking at options for removing a certain walking giant armor. We've heard
This is
rumors of a
new.
weakness of a weakness that particular being suffers from. It was another
this is
reason
new
that
to me.
eventually
Please
drew us
tell.
north. Between speaking with others, including a druid of the land and the Raven sisters, we've heard rumors that the dwarves may know of a technique or a metal that would negate most of its protection and allow us to strike it down.
What was it called again?
Oh,
You should have the legend available in your journal.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Terramalda.
That was it.
That's the beast. That's the being. Yeah. Doesn't specifically mention the weakness in that.
No, but that's
But
the
the
being that we're
stone
talking
the
about.
stone singers might know how to make the metal, or how to find it.
Yeah.
You know, Celestial, this is why the wanted poster says you're a bard, right?
Oh, the longer the wanted posters don't actually know who I am, the better off I am.
I have seen the posters. They're very interesting.
We should get one for our new walls.
No.
We
No,
can like
we-
frame it.
Do you realize how much money we're worth? We do not need to encourage people that are not necessarily loyal to us to kill us in our sleep for like 100 gold.
That they could just haul our bodies like a day or two's journey south and get that money.
What?
Like-
It's not going to be a souvenir. It's a
Like,
souvenir.
Even if it's like 100 gold alive, 50 gold dead, that 50 gold they get for killing us in our sleep and dragging our bodies away is more money than they would ever otherwise see in their lifetime. We do not need to encourage that.
You're no
Hell,
fun, Soren.
honestly, for 50 gold each, I thought about killing you in your sleep, and I like you.
Aw, you like me.
There's a reason I've been
Well.
around.
Fantastic. Well, you know, I will reiterate again that if you are in a location where one of the Uhura, particularly a female, is available to you, you should seek them out and ask for assistance, and show them my my sigil that I have given you of passing, and you will find yourself getting assistance,
Has there
Excellent.
been-
or perhaps hidden away from the authorities.
That would also be helpful.
Yes, I'm quite
Very good.
acquainted with the sisters in Reddale in case we needed it as well.
Good.
Is there any information on the other stones or the crown?
Yes, I am getting there.
Excellent.
You are in good luck then, that you seek the assistance of the dwarves north of here, in Stone Garden. is where I believe one of the stones may dwell. There are some things happening up there that I'm not quite sure. I have heard only rumor, but it is troubling indeed, and you should head that way to investigate. And it seems to be that you are already going to seek the assistance of the Stone Singers. That is where I would start as well. I do believe that in my research, and I will continue to do so, but I do believe that the crown itself is or was last seen in possession of the, I might pronounce his name wrong, real quick, Eldon, is it? The really old elf tree guy?
Oh,
Keldon?
Hold on a moment. Yes, yeah, okay.
Kalman Rodenfell,
Yeah, there we go.
That guy.
the leader of the Red Runners.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do believe that the crown was last seen in his possession however many hundreds of years ago, and I have written him. Immediately after I last saw you and have had no response. And of course, the elves move about their own time, and by the time he gets back to me, all human and orcish civilizations may have already ended.
That is part of why the druids that were here that we avoided having a conflict between. I also sent a message with them saying that we were seeking it, or at least information.
It is perhaps time to have a more face-to-face visit with this gentleman as well. As for the remaining stone, I'm not sure. I will continue to research and to send to you as soon as I hear of something.
Maybe the other stones, once they're together, can point us in a better direction.
Well,
You are incredibly intelligent, and don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise, my demon slayer.
I have also noted that our journeys themselves, usually we start off with a destination that's good for more than one reason, and then we start to pursue our secondary one, and as we get the secondary one, we found a third gem between those places.
Yes.
The universe has a way of pushing things together, and if it is... It is my opinion that these stones want to be found and reunited, that their elven selves have longed for each other. It is time to close the portal as well. And I am hoping that our stones do speak with one another while they are here. In fact, I had requested such before you even entered into my territory. So, depending upon what occurs there, you might get a visit from your friends tonight. And they may have been speaking to one another.
They like to yell at each
getting
other.
them to talk to you.
They really like to yell at each other.
Yeah, well, there seems to be some animosity there.
If nothing else, perhaps at the very least, Erinne will bless me with another visit after they've had their conversation.
She is much more peaceful than some of the other ones.
No kidding.
Well,
very good.
Her views are also a lot more open than others of them as well.
Well, that we have in common, which is why I believe she found me in the first place.
They tend to do that, don't they?
Finds
kindred
like.
Spirit. Yeah.
So do be careful with that scepter. It was used to turn an entire place into undead. So just, Very good. Do you require anything else of me? Do you have anything further to report?
Well, I would hope that the Asleen survivors reported of our battle alongside a certain other orcish warlords that felled, at least for some time, the Rust Prince.
That was an interesting conversation. There was a lot of, please put your appendages away and just work together now.
And what did you think of my cousin?
Great fighter.
He's a doer. Not much of a planner, but he will act. But he did seem more open to remaining united than apart, especially after the battle.
Yes.
Yes, he is not as careful in his considerations as I would like him to be. But perhaps he has his own uses.
Only the surviving brothers further to the south would get their stuff together.
Yes, well, as I understand it, one brother is attempting to bring the rest onto their fold, and yeah, it is my understanding that this brother will be good for the people as a whole, that he is respected and has control of the initial guard. So we'll see how that plays out, but the Eye of the Rose will be supporting his bid to take his father's place. As he seems the most competent of the leaders. But you should stay out of that for the most part.
I believe our journeys are taking us north and further north for now.
Good. Again, this is politics that I will handle.
Yeah.
I suspect that after we speak with the Stone Singers, we'll make our way back towards the Red Runners for a time.
Oh, before we leave, is there anyone in your army who has the ability to teach berserker abilities? I think that's what the talent was called, right? Berserker?
Yeah. I mean, yes, there would be among
there's a lot. I stopped looking for you. Like, there's a lot of orcs that know how to berserk.
I was gonna say, would my husband know, Miguel?
That's a good question. I have to look it up.
I'm sure he would love to teach me.
He really likes you. You fought him last time, and he's a
You know
he's
what?
a big fan.
I think he would. Yes, he would be able to do that.
All right, excellent. So Soria will say, of course, my husband would teach you. I'm sure he'd be thrilled.
Oh, that would be excellent. Thank you.
Yes, particularly if you have some new combat technique that you could trade for. He is always interested in such things.
I do.
You can demonstrate what you've learned since you were last here.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything he doesn't have, but I do have some new things.
I'm sure he would love that. And to discuss war with you would be a privilege for him. And if you need a translator, you just let me know.
I think I can understand most, but I will.
That's more a comment about how into it he can get, I believe.
Well, very good. If you need anything else from me, I will be here, and you are welcome to stay and rest as long as you'd like before you head to see the dwarves. I would be careful when you go to Stone Garden. Make sure that the king and queen there, they are not as open to outsiders as others, and you may want to consider speaking with the nobles there as well. They have significant political power.
Are any of our... Sorry, go ahead.
I believe we're also hoping to reunite with some traveling merchants and other dwarves that we've known in the past.
I was going to say, don't we have some allies from up that way?
Whether or not they're in Stone Gardens, we yet to be seen, but that's why it's good to have the lead to speak with the rest of the nobility.
Our, Mikhail, our original dwarven peddler friend, what area was he from?
He was, I believe, let's have a look again. It's been a while, hasn't it?
In his the general description of where he was saying he was going back to sounded in that area.
Right, which is why I'm wondering.
Yeah, I think it was.
But that doesn't mean it's the only hold.
And that's the very first legend I gave you. One of the very first legends I gave you. So you do know the legend about Stone Garden. I can show it again because it's a while, right?
Yeah, I think that's where he said he was from. Which is why we got the legend.
Yep.
Because that's where he went back to. Regardless, I believe we have some friends in the area.
Good. And you are all aware that farther from Stone Garden, the other dwarves of that realm, they well, the other realm, whatever, Thorman Halfhand has placed himself in house arrest, basically, and then disappeared. You are familiar with this, yes?
I think so.
No. I've heard of unrest in his holdings, but not that specific.
He and the human count there had, shall we say, a disagreement. I attempted to assist them with coming to a diplomatic resolution, but did not go according to plan. And as I understand, Thormund is, how do you say, on the lam?
Interesting. I can see.
So there
I can
are
see why
different-
worries of influence would be in play.
There are many different politics and influence running around the dwarf clans, so do be careful while you are within their halls. They are strongest in their own mountains.
That makes sense.
Good. Stay, relax, drink, talk to my husband about war. Have a nice time and enjoy the Eye of the Rose until you are ready to leave. And should you need of me, contact one of my pages and they will come find me.
Thank you.
Certainly.
And do stop by the outpost. I will have some individuals sent out there to begin some basic servants to assist.
Yeah, we should probably
they
see
will-
that on the way too.
Mm.
In case we get in really good with the dwarves and can hire some stonemasons. If we need to make any additions.
And maybe
Very
send
good.
word to possible assistants of our own.
Precisely. Thank you,
Well.
Empress.
Thank you.
Is that
I look forward to hearing future discoveries from all of you. I love when I hear news of my adventurers out making changes in this world. Just do be careful that those changes are positive, yes?
Yes.
Sure.
Will there be
That's a-
bows and curtsies to the Empress?
No, not for me.
Celestial respectfully nods his head.
Yeah, Frida's probably about the same. Frida doesn't really know how to curtsy.
Raynor totally will bow and curtsy his way out.
Yeah, I figured you would.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. Keep
Thanks for
keep
joining us.
being-
Thanks.
Bye.
Let's see.
And so, you are escorted back to your quarters. If you want to, I mean, it's evening time now. The shadows are getting longer, but you still have an hour or two if you want to spend that doing something, whatever you might want to, or just go to bed. That's also entirely.
Frida will probably go to the banquet hall first.
Ah. Yes, well, there will
See
be.
if I can find food.
There's definitely food there. I will also update the map of Ravenlands with your castle, as it were.
We have a castle, guys.
Our stronghold.
Your stronghold, indeed. You do have one.
Before going to bed, I'm going to finish repairing my bow.
Ah, yes.
And I will do so by spending a point of willpower to use
There we go.
survival instead of crafting.
I will finish training something because it's going to be a loud night if I don't.
There we go. There it is. It's a bit south of here.
Yeah. Oh, it's at the River's Fork. We could have, if it had been ours
Yep.
already, we could have just went home.
It looks
Now we know.
greener. Brainer, I managed to fix my bow.
Indeed.
You managed to
That
fix
is
the
the
bow about
best
the time
job
Brainard
ever.
about the time Brainard no longer has to lie.
No. I'm still lying at this point. I haven't
Yeah.
fell asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Soren, I don't think I could have made that fixed any better.
Thanks. I've been trying. I've been trying to pay attention. I've been whittling at it. Thank you. And
And Celestial
I will go off to bed thinking that Brainer actually thinks I did a good job.
Celestial mostly meditates before bed to finish getting his incorruptible maxed out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if they're all going to be interacting while we're here, yeah, I better max that one out.
Frida will be stuffing her face and drinking ale and possibly talking war with orcs.
Oh yes, they will be talking war with Frida as well. In fact, there will be one or two Asleens joining as well. And there will be a lot of orcs being mighty disappointed that they were not there at the front lines fighting against the Rust Brothers. And yeah, they want to hear... There is no end to how much they want to hear. Unfortunately, you're not a minstrel as such, so the whole having a way with words and performance... Do you want to roll performance for this? Like a
I
performance
can
roll?
try, but, Frida's... Keep in mind, Frida's not a talker, and she's also having her cups.
Indeed. If
Well,
you wanna...
that should give you a bonus.
So she give me a bonus +1.
I was gonna say, if you want to self-impose a -1, look at that! You are spellbinding the orcs tonight.
God damn it, Frida can tell a war story.
Frida can tell a war story. They will listen to this, and they will be like, "This is awesome." So yeah,
she's telling them about how they kept re-raising their army and how she took out the Baron alongside the orc emperor as he was gutting the prince and
Warlord.
And when you say things like that, they will be like, "Oh, the filthy necromancer bastards, and sorcerers." And
Hey! Not all necromancers are bad, man.
Well, the necromancers are terrible. They
I
raise our dead
personally
sacrilege.
know.
And meanwhile
I
in the
personally know
murder
some good
tower, I have a
ones.
bad
Oh, you
feeling
know a
about this.
good necromancer?
I do.
With your performance, you might even be able to tell one or two orcs that not all spellcasters are evil, and that... Yeah, there is a very strong prejudice against spellcasters among these guys. That's very clear.
Hey man, wizards and necromancers, trust me, they have their place in battle. I don't know how many times our sorcerer has literally burnt a guy from the inside out and saved my ass.
The horrors. But you are, this is like they will listen riveted to your tales. Asleen's trying to chime in every once in a while, but it's definitely you who carry the show tonight, because the Asleens are simply, puny humans, whereas you are a tall, stalwart, white-furred wolfkin with fangs and, well, not tusks as such. The orcs do that part, but there is a wildness.
And the law.
Yes, there's a wildness over Frida that the orcs definitely love. So yes, there will be some arm wrestling there. There will be some, they're trying to bring down those knuckles into the table. There will be some people who will actually impromptu start, sparring somewhere in a corner. But yeah, they will offer you a lot of cups this night. Keep going, more stories.
Bruno might be a little hungover in the morning.
Ever so slightly. What are Brennar and Celestial and Soren doing? Soren, you fixed your bow, you said.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna fix my
that's your
bow and then I'm
thing.
gonna just go to bed.
Mm.
Yeah, I was finishing Incorruptible, and then I was going to go to bed because I was exhausted.
Brainer
Yes,
is going
you
to
will be
bed.
able to. Oh, so you're in fact doing that now. You are now incorruptible, as it were. Ah.
Now wait, if they're all going to be here, and I know this guy can sometimes get, influency. Yeah. And if I might have to teach Frida, it's probably best if I know everything about it.
I agree. And yeah,
Indeed.
you're probably gonna have to teach Frida.
Yeah, no, just at least adding your resistance, one to your resistance to start off with would be nice.
Yeah. Because,
Yeah.
you know, again, if I'm killing people, I'd like to do it of my own volition.
Yeah. That's all you're really doing is just rolling to resist manipulate anyway.
Are you staying in the? You have each of your separate rooms, right? That's the idea here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a tent.
And you have a
Yeah,
tent.
he has a-
and
he
you
has a
sleep in
separate
the yard
building.
because
It's-
you're Soren, which is fine too. Very well then. A night shall in fact pass without any horrifying revelations or surprises.
Nope.
And you will
Like,
be
beautiful
waking
stuff
up
for a moment.
rested and
There we
healed
go.
in various capacities. Has Brennar been wearing the necklace this night?
Yep.
Okay, so he is in fact healed but sleepy.
Yep.
And we take her
Yay.
back and put her back in the pack.
Back in
Yep.
the pack. That's where she belongs.
Wrapped up carefully, hidden well, tucked
Sleeping
in for
away
a
her
night.
ears.
Oh, yes, and yeah, again, to Frida's volition, you will put Malingar from her cold dead hands. The only reason Brainer had it is because I couldn't have it in the ring.
Yeah, well, you have Maligarn and Nikaka and Frostbite. You've accumulated quite a trove here of powerful artifacts.
Small collection at this point.
Mm-hmm. What's the plan for this day?
Learning Berserker.
Together with Hroka the First and the Greatest, huh?
Yes.
Ugh! Frida!
That's a wrestling name. if
The
I've ever heard
greatest
one.
Wolfkin champion of the lands!
I've come to learn from you. Your
Let me
wife
teach
mentioned.
Stand over there! Yep, he will get to it. He very much likes that you are going to learn from him. This will show
I
him...
won't have the XP to buy it till after this session, but
Mhm.
can I learn it now and then spend the XP at next session?
It's not quite how it works, but I'm sure we'll find a way to elongate the training sessions and whatnot.
Okay. I'm only like 1 XP away from it.
That's... Well, you need 3, right? So you have 2 then.
Right, but we only got 2 last game, and I've spent all my
Right.
XP before that.
That's okay. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can come back, and if nothing else, I don't know if you mean to leave
Oh,
the eye or
we
if
can
you
always head to our outpost and then
Right.
wind up coming back on the way north.
That's a thing you can do.
But she will start now.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So he's stand there. Let out your inner rage like this, and then he just kind of rushes like a wooden figure, and bang! It just snaps off. And then, but the true power of the Berserker is when you've been beaten down, and then you rise up again. Yes. And so he goes on.
It's the type of conversation and stuff, so Passage needs a coffee or he'll fall asleep during.
Yeah, we literally spend the afternoon beating each other up.
Brainer's gonna go work in the Astrolabe.
Oh, that's interesting. Master Anselm will like that a lot.
And apologize profusely for previously lying the day prior.
He will probably accept that. I would like you to do a manipulation check there, because I have a feeling that Master Anselm will be a bit reluctant initially to share his secrets and allow you to work on it. But since you're badgering him, he will in fact give in. and allow you to help him, as it were. And once you get over that first hurdle and apologizing to him, he it's only a matter of like a minute or two after that. Then he's been so absent-minded before, he kind of forgets about the whole insult stuff from yesterday and just he just gets very animated by the Astrolabe and starts tinkering with it under your leadership, as it were. Are you going to roll a crafting roll to help him with the Astrolabe? Look at that. Wow. That Astrolabe will be put together faster than fast, basically. You will spend the morning, the first quarter day, just fixing up the Astrolabe. And Frida is working with Hroka. What is Celestial and Soren doing, respectively, during this morning?
I'm not really doing much of anything. If I have access to the library, I will actually try to do some research on this particular demon that we may have to hunt down and kill.
I'll give you 2 gear dice for library. Messy library, but you can find treasures there every once in a while.
Good old wits lore check.
Yes.
Want a hand with that? 'Cause it's not like I have any plans for the day. It's not like there's any druids for me here to pester about getting more magic.
Well, if you're free to do some research, why don't you research and I'll find the books for you?
Oh, that sounds good.
That's probably going to be better.
Yeah.
That will be better.
I was just going off the fact that I'm smart.
Very well. Celestial will peruse the books and peruse the lore in this library. And Master Anselm is busy with the Astrolabe, so he won't
Thank
be able
God.
to.
Praise the
You're
realm.
welcome.
So, what can we say about this that you didn't already get from the legend? Well, a few pieces. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think we have permission to view the legend because I'm not seeing it.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
I'll
not
fix that
currently there.
away. Where did I put the legend? There we go. I didn't actually put it among your legends. My bad. I'll fix that immediately. Can you see it now? Or do I have to?
I don't currently see it. Let me close, minimize, and reopen that.
There we go.
No.
No, wait. I'll update this so you will have it in a moment.
Okay.
Because apparently I didn't before. My apologies.
I mean, the main thing I'm looking for is if we
There
need
we
any
go.
sort of we need
here's-
a special medal for.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So here's the legend then. At the end of the Alder Wars, the demon prince Crasilla stood bereft of a way home to his native world of Churmug. They say that Zutera made a deal with the terrible creature then, giving it sanctuary in Vond in return for guarding Shadowgate Pass against the Asleen that Crasilla himself had ravaged. It is whispered that the human sacrifices that the villages are forced to provide to the Rust Brothers become sustenance for Crasilla, and that the demon nowadays lies fat and immobile in the interior of the castle. And
Fat and immobile is good.
Yeah, exactly.
The main thing I'm looking for is if there's any reference to any particular weaknesses, like we need that special metal for Terra Malda.
The magnetic rock.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's anything like that we can start keeping our eye open for.
Yeah, a cockscrow on the false dawn while bleeding on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something interesting about demons. They all have their own little idiosyncrasies. You will find this much. The legends, that was a legend, and they can be legends can be pieced together from different sources and different books. But that's about Crasilla of before the Blood Mist, if you will. You know, how Crasilla functioned as allied with his powerful ally against the Asleans and against humans in general, apparently. But one cannot necessarily rely on legends for the present situation, right? But you do find enough accounts from villages. This is coming in reports written by various merchants who speak about how they've been trading with Rust Brothers and Hager's House and elsewhere. Very few people who actually go to Vond, clearly, in these messages that you see. Vond seems to be a place of absolute terror when it's discussed in any of these reports. It's a major headquarters for the Rust Brothers. Crasilla seems to be there to this day, which is probably why very few want to go there. But he is referred to often, or it, they, she, who knows what gender this thing might have, if any. It's referred to as General Crasilla in several of these documents as well. It seems that Crasilla is, in fact, a military leader of the Rust Brothers, commanding armies. Indeed, you will find a reference here, because you have 2 successes, to how the general who led the Rust Brother army out into the plains in the north just a month ago. Well, it was a colonel, really. It was a colonel or a captain who was working at General Crasilla's behest. The orders for this march north towards Peddler's Rest was Crasilla's. Mm-hmm. According to the rumors and the messages coming from people who, maybe some people actually walked with the army as peddlers selling the soldiers things. As for weaknesses, yeah, it's not going to tell you much about that, alas. Possibly the fact that the thing seems to be feeding on humans can be used to your advantage.
So we could poison a bunch of humans and then sacrifice them to it.
I mean...
Or we could cut off the food supply. Well, thanks, Celestial. I don't think I would have found this on my own.
Oh, not a problem. Found some interesting information. There, I've added that to my notes.
Perfect. So that's the extent of basically what I spend the day doing.
Very well. Noon comes along, and Brennar is finally finishing up the Astrolabe, which is probably better than it was in its heyday almost, with 3 successes. Anselm is ecstatic. Look at this. Finally we can watch the stars and maybe predict what will happen to us in the future by seeing the movement of the stars. I wonder if the elf legends are right about the Red Runner. You remember, yes. I don't know. And then there's like a moment when he's deep in thought, and then he looks up at you, Brennar. Brennar, can you help me get away from here?
Being held captive?
Not just me.
Okay, what? Oh, okay, that was just as good. You know what? Yeah. 1 sec. Hey, there we go. true? Like,
Ah,
schmark.
I'll roll his manipulation, because you never know.
Yeah, because he's just working away, and then he's like, "Get me out of here." So, you know.
Help me slay them all.
Well, no, that's the. Listen, I've had my fair demons. Okay.
I mean, you're right.
Who are you?
I am Master Anselm, he says. Just as I've said before, I do not lie about who I am, but well, what can I say?
I'm in short range of this guy, right?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
saying
Sense magic.
yeah, no, he hasn't cast a spell or anything.
Is he cursed?
Nope.
Okay. That was my bigger question of.
There is no magic on him. No, you
Okay.
see, the Empress or the Emperor, I do not know. I think it's the Empress. She has her agents, and when I passed by Grindbone, they took me, put me in a sack, and then in a barrel, and next thing I knew, I was here. They do that.
The orcs do that. I will
Yes, they do.
I will make sure that your establishment here is better well served and better protected. The knowledge that's within these walls, even though the papers and such and the Astrolabe itself has seen better days, needs to be conserved and protected.
It is a magnificent piece, he says. He's leaning out now and he's speaking very loudly so everybody can hear. It is a magnificent piece. Oh, yes, it is. And then he looks at you slightly desperately again. You're brave adventurers of great renown. I'm sure you could do something. Just want to go home.
Where do you originally reside from?
Oh, I am an Alderlander. No, I'm lying.
Whoa!
I'm well. It's a long story. I am technically an Alderlander, but I hail from Vivend, not from the Rust Brother territories. My family came there before the Blood Mist, and they never, no one ever, the Islanders never accepted us as one of them. It's complicated. It's not. I suppose the Islanders never accepted us, and they still count us as. But we do not worship Rust and Heave in my family. We worship we worship Worm, of course. Yes. Anyway, yes.
So you basically want to go back home and you feel that you're captured here amongst the orcs.
Yes, I mean, she's asking the impossible. She asked me to catalog all these things. I've never seen so many documents, and they say that I'm supposed to read these things, but look, this is Elfish, and these are Maha signs. I cannot read that.
Have you been upmost and honest with her and explained you cannot understand these foreign languages?
Are you crazy? She would have my head.
Well then, you put me at an impasse. The most I can do is talk to my colleagues and see if you can join us to the Rust Edge outpost.
Oh, I would be so happy. Of course, you need someone to take care of your books. Yes, you have scrolls. Yeah, I can help with that. Yes, or something.
Yes, we'll let me check with my compatriots and I'll let you know. But in the interim,
Yes,
the Astrolabe is at least up and running.
Yes, of course. The Astrolabe, and he's again starts to. I mean, when he is trying to fake his enthusiasm, it's the fakest enthusiasm in the history of fakest enthusiasms. It's quite a miracle that he's gotten away with trying to, with his bluffs so far.
I just think no one cares.
Apparently, no one cares. So yes, that's the situation there in the library. It's windy in here because the ceiling is not completely fixed yet.
Oh, look, Brainer, you got a follower. Maybe.
Maybe.
There we go. Starting to slowly get a group going.
Yep. So, meanwhile, Celestial, you've done your research. What's your program for the afternoon?
Probably just a nice walk, actually, because Frida's occupied and can't learn anything anyway.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. I mean, how often does that happen? Just an afternoon of sitting down and doing nothing is special?
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't even know what that is anymore.
Maybe head down towards the grove again, but maybe see if the scepter's feeling talkative. I'm not going to press him on anything specific. Just like, I've got you, you've got me. What's up, bitch?
Well, I mean, you know by now that they will speak to you in your dreams. So it's probably something for the night.
Oh, yeah. Nah, but more of like, well, I'm going to take a walk. We're going to go through we'll take a walk through this grove, and maybe this will soothe your spirit after you probably had a disagreement with your siblings overnight.
Yeah, you're down there by the grove. You will see again. I mean, it's overgrown, of course, decayed.
It's a bigger issue for for normal people than no druid.
I mean, you can take a little while here and just, out of respect for the gods, take
absolutely.
some vines off of the. You will notice one thing here. All the vines and all the things that have been covered by moss, leaves, foliage. The 4 statues of the gods are remarkably clean of these things. And, why don't you roll... I think it's survival, or... Yeah, I think it's a survival roll, really.
Okay.
You're not much of a tracker yourself. Or you are much of a tracker yourself.
Yeah, I've got 2 in survival.
Yeah, you will notice that someone has in fact taken great care to remove a bunch of foliage from these gods. You would think, given your 2 successes, that it's probably those Red Runner elves that you ran into last time you were here. You can't imagine anyone else taking the time and dedication to show that level of respect to these gods. And the gods in question, by the way, I think you would recognize these being the druid that you are. Flow, Whale, Clay, and the Nightwalker.
Oh, the Nightwalker too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll take the time to further spruce up the grove. Not necessarily the way back and forth, but the grove itself around the statues.
This is a bit of an inner chamber, if you will.
Yeah.
You doubt that the orcs have ever found this place. It's an alcove hewn into the side itself.
Yeah.
And they stand with half-open mouths there, looking out over any supplicants who might come here.
Interesting. It's definitely more to this than just a chamber of worship, a natural chamber of worship now, but still a chamber of worship.
Possibly.
A good place for me to spend my afternoon.
Indeed.
Working, showing devotion to the natural gods while working.
You will. Let's see now. Yep. What is meanwhile Soren doing? during the afternoon?
Not much of anything. Just milling about. Just waiting for people to get their shit together so that they can get on the road again.
Does it feel really weird to not be doing anything?
Not really. It's more he doesn't have too much to do here in this civilized area. He very much prefers to be, out wandering. But at the same time, he realizes the dangers, and if he goes wandering by alone, then either he's going to get injured, or like an orc is going to take offense at him being there, and then that orc is going to get injured, and that's just going to be bad. So he's doing his best to stay out of trouble.
That's not too hard for him. The orcs, I'm not so sure that they consider your archery skills as impressive, if you will, as Frida's sword skills. She might be, they might be more, inclined towards melee weapons and such like. So they will probably not pester you nearly as much as they pester Frida. I mean, Frida constantly has a bunch of warrior orcs around her when she's training with Roka, and so on. So yeah, she's heavily attended. Roka won't spend the entire day with her, of course. After a while, he goes off and does something else. Maybe he gets bored. Who knows? His mind. But she will not be left alone for that. In fact, Frida, as your sort of training session with Roka, unless you're training him too, right? So
if I have anything that he wants to learn, I will happily trade techniques.
You might, yeah. Yeah, he will definitely try to learn from you as well. Yeah, I think
so.
His,
I have talents wise. I have cold-blooded, passes the blade, passes the shield, melee charge, sword fighter, and threatening.
Yeah, he's never been one to bother too much about shields. I'll give you that.
Unless he wants to learn cooking, I can teach him that too. But
nah. But he will take a word or two from you about Path of the Shield, yes.
Okay.
The whole melee charge, yes. Though, yeah. He's
yeah,
wearing...
I figured he had most of it.
Yeah, he has one or two.
What? You mean Path of Shield isn't literally using shield? I can use my axe to protect my lieutenant and then crush the skull?
Yes!
He's wearing a gold-plated scimitar, which is absolutely beautiful in the sun. And
not as pretty as mine.
No. And he also has plate armor, which is heavier than you have. And quite a few of his most trusted guards will have similar type of heavy armor. Some go with...
Oh, actually, this might be a good
chain.
place to have my armor looked at. It was damaged in the last battle.
This is a good place to have it looked at. They definitely have a smithy. So if you want to just give it in somewhere, they're not going to charge you for it. You're working for the crown, as it were.
So I will hand my chainmail in somewhere to be repaired.
Yeah, there is.
I would have probably done that before.
There is a grumpy dwarf there who will do it for you.
Excellent. Thank you, good sir.
Has to stand on a chair to make keeps muttering under his breath. As you are sort of getting things attended to, you will notice, by now you know him by face, called Ult. He is a towering orc, nearly as big as the Emperor himself. Wears a two-handed sword and a scabbard, like on the back. And you hear that he is the commander of most of the forces in this tower. And he's kind of looking at you with absolute scars across his face. One of his tusks have had a deep notch in it. And he's like...
Frida will look at him and go, "Afternoon, handsome. What can I do for you?"
Weakness.
And what?
There's too much weakness around here, if you ask me. You saw how all those young pups got around you? They've never seen battle like that. Well, not in a long while.
I hear there's more coming for you, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Eh,
They'll all be blooded soon enough.
they will not be blooded. Not with this Emperor.
What makes you say that? What's wrong with this Emperor?
He glances up towards the tower where the Empress's chambers are. Weakness. We should have been there. Might be somebody's holding us back, see? We could have
Or
been.
somebody's stopping you from making stupid moves and needlessly wasting men.
Hold up here. We'll see.
What was this guy's name again?
Ult.
Ult. And he's their general?
Yeah. Or commandant, if you will.
Okay. Aren't you a darling fellow?
Yeah. That's Ult for you. Towering indeed.
After my afternoon with the Emperor,
Yep.
I will send a note with one of the handmaidens that I know specifically I've seen attending Soria,
Yep.
letting her know that her general might not be the most loyal guy. He's a little battle hungry.
Well, that can turn interesting, can't it?
I like Soria.
The Orcish Empress, indeed. Celestial, you're spending the afternoon with the temple, you said? And
Yeah.
Brennar is doing what this afternoon?
So after his little chit chat, Brainer is going to actually go down towards the trades and see if he can find himself actually an open helmet to sub out his studded leather cap.
He should
And
be
while-
able to. There's
and-
plenty of weapons around here. That's not hard to find.
And he's also going to try and see if he can purchase a small shield too while he's at it.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem at all. Small shield. And in fact, there's so much armaments here that I'm going to give you the small shield for 5 silver instead of 6. And the helmet, you wanted an open helmet, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, I give it one for 6 silver. They are fairly common around here.
Okay. And I'm just adding that to my inventory now.
It is a better piece of equipment for sure.
Yeah, it's just the weight. Otherwise, I'd probably look at upgrading to chainmail and
There is
open
that.
helm for my studded.
But Brenner is a strong one, so
Yeah.
that should work for him.
I'd have to spend some more XP and learn pack rat.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a studded leather?
I do.
Celestial? Okay.
Yeah, I replaced it in Red Dale
All right, because
after it was cut off of me.
yeah, I've got one now that I got to sell. So
As you're looking over the temple there, Celestial, you hear the flutter of wings behind you.
Well, I'll turn and take a look because birds are seldom just birds.
It's a raven.
Yeah, especially when it's a raven. Is it a familiar raven?
It is a familiar raven, and the familiar raven shapeshifts and takes the form of Zagere, who you remember from Grindbone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I did not know you were here until, well, I came.
For good or ill, here we are. Here I am.
What brings you here?
To this spot or the Eye of the Rose as a whole?
The Eye of the Rose as a whole. I'm curious, she says. Looks around a little bit like that.
Information.
I hear orcs do not like us druids much, or any spellcaster really.
No, there's a long history based on our kinds, and well, the bloods that typically call towards druidic magic in them, and well, sorcerers as a whole in them.
I lost track of Terramalda somewhere around Rocher's Creek. Don't know where it is now. How come you as a spellcaster can... Have you spoken to the Empress?
More than once.
Rumor has it that she's looking for spellcasters.
She has been. That's part of what brought us to the Eye of the... It's part of what brought us into the Eye of the Rose initially. We were already coming here. But the fact that she was looking for casters helped us.
Do you know for what purpose?
Ostensibly to try and reforge the Stanigus crown and seal the realm to protect it from the rift.
Aha. She has the crown?
Oh, she does not, but in her desire to grow her own power, she wants to have a realm to rule over and to control in the future, which puts her at direct opposition to the rust and the demons that they've slowly been unleashing on the world.
Well, that's...
She wanted brave adventurers to find the gems to possibly the crown itself, so that can be used to close the gates, seal the rift.
I see. Those are interesting tidings. To close... I have heard stories about that crown. I wonder if that is the only use for it.
I highly doubt it's the only use for it. After all, Algared's scepter is not strictly for reinforcing and raising structures. It can also tear them down or be used as part of a ritual to make waiting dead.
Is there a risk that the crown might be reassembled? You speak of Algared, and you speak of the crown.
There's the chance, but as with anything, it all depends on the forces in play and those who actually seek to see it done.
Most certainly.
I know that despite our disparate differences, if my companions and I do pursue that and assemble the crown, our primary purpose would be simply to seal the realm and protect it, and then if the crown was then dissolved again, well, it had no further purpose. It did what it was needed to be done.
That is probably...
Woe betide to someone who wanted to benefit from it being whole other than that.
All this is beyond me and my knowledge. Very well, then. That is no small revelation.
No,
Thank
there's
you,
many
Celestial
there's many
Passage.
tidings on the winds and in the skies.
Oh, there is indeed. There is indeed. Will you go to Pelagia?
I expect to.
Speaking of tidings and rumors, I do not
I've
know.
always sought to, but I expect we'll wind up that way in due time.
You've heard of the gift that it would have been bestowed and granted now recently.
Yes.
That only the worthy can claim?
For only the 5th time it has ever been bestowed.
Yes. Could that be another of the stones? Or maybe the crown itself?
I quietly had been thinking it could be.
If so, we have to watch that place.
Just as it's possible that the unrest with some of the dwarves and the count was related to another gem.
Oh, the
It could be
dwarves.
another influence as well, but
How many stones have been found? If I may ask.
most of them, more than half. But that would mean the others would probably be stirring as well.
That means that all of these Ravenlands will be affected by them very soon. Everything will turn.
It's part of why I've been steeling myself, forging my will stronger.
That is wise indeed, Celestial Passage. I thank you very kindly for all these tidings. I was not aware of them.
You've always dealt fairly and openly with us so far, and as another of a slightly different faith, but still of the same family.
Indeed. Let us hope that we can remain allies. She bows ever so slightly. Raven, protect you with his wings. And then she transforms herself back into that raven again and flies away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a pretty good place to pause our adventures for this time. We have 10 minutes left to 11 here in the Atlantic region of the
Cinematically,
world.
the camera.
Cinematically, yeah,
Camera
it
in tight
occurred
on
to me.
Celestials. He looks up at
It
the
was
sky,
a nice little...
watching the raven fly off, and then it slowly pans out.
it was a kind of apropos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching tonight, or if you're watching this in the future, for watching it in the future, yeah, and so on. Some twists of plots, some developments. You guys have your own stronghold now,
Woohoo!
officially on a piece of paper. Let's hope that there is nobody in the stronghold that will disagree with that piece of paper. But who would I be to do such a thing? I am a benevolent GM. I would never have.
Oh, please. I can see Soria having done it deliberately. Just because Celestial Passage tends to be earnest and upright doesn't mean he also doesn't expect other people to be completely the opposite.
Not at all.
You know,
my
things have
my
happened
game
before.
is now let's see how good everything can get when I have not lied to you.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, it's almost as if some leaders might have their own agendas every once in a
Yeah,
while.
weird.
You never know.
Right?
It's like Adventuring Party has its own agenda.
Exactly. That everyone is playing completely with open cards, and everything will simply become roses. And it's the eye of the rose. How can it be anything else? Anyway, we'll have to talk
You hear that,
later
Rust
about
Brothers? All in.
if we're brave enough to, but I'm expecting that we will probably do the next session, and that would be like the 16th of January or something like that.
Yeah, that
would
sounds
be.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
that
see
sounds right.
exactly how
Yep.
things conspire. I might need the 16th of January for something else on this.
If it happens, it happens.
happens,
It's
it
quite all
happens.
right.
But we'll continue eventually with Raven's Purge, and it will be in January. Let's just say that. We're not gonna put a pause on this for that long.
Well, I mean, if not the 16th, then obviously the 30th.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yes.
it's gonna be again. But happy holidays, everyone, and a happy new year, and enjoy the holidays. Stay safe, and get vaccinated if you haven't already. Boost yourself. I don't think we can boost ourselves if we're below
50 and older.
50
or-
and
can.
older. Yeah, I'm not there
Yeah,
yet.
so
I'll
Chris
have
and
to wait.
Anita.
Yeah, I got mine. No, Anita's not.
Oh,
Good for
oh
you.
yeah, no, sorry. I
Yeah,
was
I'll-
thinking Anita because
I'll do it the moment I can.
immunocompromised.
The moment I can.
But
But
I
yeah,
know they're tight on that one.
Yeah,
That
I
is-
got mine booked already.
good for you. So yeah, that's it for this year for Raven's Purge. But the plot thickens, and things will soon. I'm sure. Well, always be. I mean, 2 sessions ago we had a field battle, right? So
Yeah. May the season's
what's
tidings
next.
find you joyful.
indeed.
Happy
May
Alright,
flow
holidays,
wash away
folks.
your fears, and clay support your strengths.
etc.
Happy holidays, guys. I'll see you in the new year.
Yeah,
Happy
you too.
holidays, everyone.
Have a good one,
See yous.
guys.
Later, matators.